Okay, I think we're live. Welcome to another seated workout. I'm trying to keep them a bit shorter because they started at 10 minutes and they crept on to 20 minutes. So we're just going to do the lower half of the body today. A couple of days ago I put one on which was the upper half of the body, so you can always do them back to back if you've got a bit longer than 10 minutes. Starting with a ball, that's the only thing we're going to need today. So a golf ball, any kind of firm ball, ideally you could use. Failing that, a rolling pin. Just going to give our feet a quick massage. So starting with the left foot, let's press down. And if you are unable to stand up and be steady, even if you're holding on to something, you can do this pat down as well. So that's fine. As long as you're getting a firm massage. So we really want to get the pressure into the ball or the rolling pin. And you'll see that you have loads of little joints in your feet that are all designed to be moved. So if you can press into the ball and get that movement back in your feet, it's going to be really useful. The other part of the foot we want to the other thing we're trying to achieve by this is to free up the fascia. There's a big thick clump of fascia that finishes under your foot. So just before your heel, I stand up, just before your heel, you can push in there. That might be quite tender. You can massage there. That's really, I won't say it's nice, it's not nice, but it's really useful. Especially if you get heel pain, if you've ever had plantar fasciitis, that's really unpleasant. It's good to keep some movement going in your feet. And same on the other foot. Actually, before you do the other foot, just stand now. You might even feel a slight difference between the 2 feet by doing that. You might feel that left foot is flattened into the floor a bit more and a bit sturdier on it. And same with the right foot, really pressing in. Inside of the arch, in there, outside of the arch, under the ball of the foot, getting all that good movement back in your foot. And then that little bit just before your heel, try and massage in there. You find that it's quite tender, so you can press on that tender spot and hold it for a few seconds. Okay. And then we're going to sit down, if you're not already sat down, and get straight on with some leg work. I'm not going to spend any longer on the feet today. Okay, so we're going to start perched on the edge of our seats. We're going to push the legs out into a second position. Make a bit of room in my leggings. So you've got your feet really wide, a bit like a sumo. And we're going to go through a couple of positions on each side, on both sides, and we're just going to stretch first time around. Second time around, we're going to do a bit of work. So first time, we're in this wide position, we're pushing the knees back. And if you're pushing your knees back, you should get a stretch on the inside thigh muscles there. So let's just hold that stretch for a few seconds. As I say, when we come back to this, once we've done both sides, we're going to add in a bit of work for the muscles. Okay, now we're going to bring the left knee in, and I want you to hold onto your chair with your right hand. We might need to adjust the feet a bit because we're going to be facing the right side. So here I've got the ball of my left foot on the floor. A bit of a stretch in the big toe joint for some of you, but see if you can wriggle that left foot back a bit, just to where you feel it's far enough. You'll get a bit of a stretch in the front of the left hip. We've got the right buttock on the chair, the left buttock is off the chair. We're going to draw our tummy muscles in and lift the chest up so that you get that pulling through the front of the left hip or thigh, depending on which area is tighter. So tummy muscles in. Then to increase the stretch a bit more, we're going to lift the left arm up to the ceiling and slightly over towards the chair. And then you're just going to hold it there. And breathe. So you might, as I say, be feeling a stretch in that left big toe joint if that's tight. Try and stay if you can. You're drawing your tummy muscles in. You'll be opening it all through here, an area which gets quite stuck when we do a lot of sitting. I'm just going to hold that stretch for a moment. And then you can come out of it. And we're going to turn back to where we started. Back to our sumo position. Pushing the knees out. You can lean forward slightly and get a stretch on the insides of the thighs. And we'll stay there. Okay. Then we're going to bring the right knee in. We're going to turn to face the left side and hold onto the chair with the left hand. Have a little wriggle with that right foot now. Let's get the ball of the right foot on the floor and wriggle as far back as you feel you can manage. And then if we draw the tummy muscles in and lift the chest up, you should start to feel that opening, that stretching to the right side of the hip, front of the hip. So my left buttock is on the chair, right buttock is off the chair. Now we'll take the right arm up and reach upwards and stay for a moment. Breathe. Maybe you're feeling it right up here on the side of the rib. Maybe you're feeling it down the front or the side of the right hip, or maybe it's going all the way down to the front of the knee. Anywhere along that line, you could be stretching out. Okay. We're going to come out of it and come back to face the front. This time around, we'll do a little bit more with the muscles. So really important that you haven't got your toes behind your knees. So have a look, make sure you can see your big toe joints and your knees are pushing back. The knees are pushing back constantly. We're going to hold the back of the chair and just start now transferring the weight into the feet. So I want you to feel like you're pushing down, especially with your heels, into the floor, with the whole of both feet are on the floor. Pushing down with the heels whilst keeping those knees back. We're shifting a little bit of weight off the chair. If you hold on to the chair, you'll feel a bit more confident. And then you can make it a little bit slower. And maybe you can transfer a little bit more weight, but really keep those knees pushing back. Heels pushing down, knees pushing back. If this is quite easy for you, you might even be able to come all the way off your chair and bring your hands in front of you and just do a little bounce there. If not, keep hold of your chair and keep just transferring the weight between the chair and the feet. Knees pushing back, back, back. They're going to want to come forward, I suspect, so keep pushing them back. I want to do a few more. Maybe you can hold the weight in the feet now, either holding onto your chair or taking the hands off the chair. Keep pushing those knees back. And then grab your chair if you've let go. And make sure it's there before you sit back down. Now bringing the right knee in. Facing the right side. You're going to hold your chair with your, no, you're bringing your left knee in, sorry. Left knee in. Holding the chair with the right hand, facing the right. Going back to the same position we had for the stretch, you're going to wriggle that left foot back to where you can cope with it. Got the ball of the left foot on the floor. Have a look at your right foot. Check you can see your big toe joint. You haven't got your knee going in again. And we're going to draw our tummy muscles in. Stretch the left arm, and we're going to start pushing down into the feet. So you're pushing into the ball of the left foot, pushing into the whole of the right foot. And this can be very small. You don't even have to clear the chair with your right buttock. You might keep some contact with the buttock, the right buttock and the chair, but you're just pushing into your feet as if you're going to stand up, but you don't have to. And the more you can push into the floor, the more you can use the floor to wake up your leg muscles. So it sounds obvious that you'll have your feet on the floor, therefore you'll have weight into your feet. But if you can actively try and push down, especially with that front right heel, you're going to help to wake up your right buttock. Pushing down with that front right heel, check. You can still see your big toe joint. Maybe you can hold the weight in the feet for a few seconds, still lifting your chest. And then relax onto the chair. Coming back to this one. We've only got 2 more to do. Back to a second position. Hands on the chair. Check you can see your big toe joints. And you're transferring the weight again, pushing into the heels, whilst keeping those knees pushed back. Back, back, all the time. And you can slow it down. You can resist taking the weight back onto the chair. Or if you're feeling really brave, you can just come off the chair completely. Maybe you can keep your fingers behind you so you can touch it. That makes you feel safer. But we're going to keep pushing those knees back. Or you're still just taking a little bit of weight out. Okay, let's hold with a little bit of weight off the hips, the heels pushing into the floor. And then relax and bring the right knee in, facing the left. We're now holding the back of the chair with the left hand, wriggling your right foot back to where it's a challenge for you. Maybe that big toe joint's loosened up a bit now. It's the second time we're in this position. Okay. You can see your front big toe, drawing the tummy in, lifting up, reaching your right arm and then pushing into your feet, pushing the floor with your feet, pushing the floor with that left heel and just taking a tiny bit of weight off that left buttock, pushing the floor with the ball of the right foot as well. And this is as much or as little as you want. You might be here and just very slightly transferring your weight into all your feet, or you might be here and you might be completely coming off the chair. So it's as big or as small as you feel comfortable, but everyone is pushing their feet into the floor. Okay, we're going to keep the weight in the feet, whether your left buttock is just very lightly touching the chair or whether it's off the chair. We're going to stay pushing down with that left heel into the floor whilst you can still see your left big toe. Good. Okay, let's sit down and relax in. Okay, one more little bit of work with the legs and then we're going to stretch them out and then that'll be it. Okay, let's have the feet about hip width. Hands in front. We've done this one before. You're going to be perched on the edge of your chair, transferring the weight to start with. Actually, I just thought of another one I want to do. We're going to do 2 more with muscle work and then we're going to stretch. So with this one, it's quite clear for me to see, because I can see myself in the camera, that my knees would probably like to wobble in together. But I want you to really try. So you can't, as you can't see your legs in the camera, it's worth having a look down to check that your knees are not coming together. What we're doing is just pushing down to the heels again and trying to take a little bit of weight off the chair. So if you're going to stand, but then you change your mind. And let's try not to let those knees come together, but also try not, if I show you from the side, to let your back round. So I'm going to lift the chest, push down through the heels. Can you imagine you're trying to squeeze your sitting bones? So you're trying to pinch your buttocks together as you're lifting. And can you make it, because you're trying to squeeze your buttocks, can you give yourself a little bit of resistance on the way down, slowing back down as if we're touching with our skin, then the bones, skin, then bones, skin, and then bones sink down. So it's a nice slow transition. Just do a couple more. This might be quite tiring for you. Okay, and then we're going to sit right back on the chair. So there's as much support under the legs as possible. Still going to lift really tall, but we're just going to straighten one knee and then bring it back. I'm going to keep going with the same leg. Let's do the right leg up and down. As your foot goes up, so does your chest. And you'll bring your toes back towards you. So as your foot goes up, we don't want your back to give way. To make it a bit easier for that thigh, we actually want to be thinking that the back is lifting up even more. And let's do about 5 more. Up with the spine, up with the foot, up with the spine, up with the foot. I've lost count already. I think the next one is 5. Let's hold the leg up, and then you're going to do big circles. I'm hitting my ankle, clicking. Big circles with that right foot, so the biggest circles you can make. And all the time we're trying to get taller, we're still working our spinal muscles, deep muscles to help keep us up there. Let's change direction with that right leg. You might be feeling your right thigh as you're working the muscles in that thigh. Okay, and bring that leg in. Same with the left. We're going up with the foot and back down. As your foot goes up, so does your back. If you can think that you're going to lift your spine up a little bit on each repetition, that would be really good. You might be feeling a stretch in the back of the leg, and if your hamstring is tight, that's going to make it even harder work for your quad on the top. Just do a few more. Come down a bit quicker this time. Slow. Lift. Lift. Something if you have weakness in your legs, problems with your knees, you can do to strengthen your quadricep muscles, your thigh muscles, whenever you're sat down. Okay, let's circle the foot. Crack. Big circles. Can you still lift nice and tall? And then changing direction. Now I have to say, you could do this whenever you sat down. It's important to have muscles. It's important to have balance. So if you are doing this, then you either want to be doing this stretch as well, so we open them back out again, or this stretch, standing, which a lot of you will know. Okay, we've brought that leg in. We're going to do some stretching. So we're going to perch on the edge of the chair again. We're going to straighten the right leg. I'll show you from the side so you can see. My right foot is lifting up towards my face. My toes are lifting up towards my face. I'm going to lean forward, trying to keep a flat back. And this is a stretch for the back of your right leg. So just leaning forward, chest out, bottom out, trying to feel a stretch down the back of that right leg. You're going to stay there for a moment. Okay, and then you can push down with your left foot to help you lift the right leg up. If you can, you're crossing your right ankle over the top of the left thigh, top of the left knee. That might be a big challenge. If you're on a low chair, it's going to be harder. If you can get on a high chair, high-ish chair, it's going to be a bit easier. And while you're there, maybe you can lift up nice and tall as well. Maybe you can also use your right elbow or hand to press down a bit on the inside of the right leg. I'll stay there This should be a stretch in your gluteal muscle. You should feel it in the right buttock. Quite a nice stretch, I think. Then we're going to slide that right leg over the top, so you're sat cross-legged. We're going to put the left hand on the outside of the right thigh. And as you lift really tall, you're going to try and look over your right shoulder. I haven't done an awful lot for the upper back today. So we're going to lift really tall, a little bit of pressing from that left hand into your right thigh. Then take a few breaths as you try and spiral up and look around the corner, look over your right shoulder. See if there's any room in your rib cage as you breathe. And then you can unravel yourself, and we'll do that just on the other side. Straightening your left leg now, toes coming up, and we're leaning forward. So the toes of the left foot are peeling up, you're sticking your sitting bones out. I'm just going to hold that stretch. I don't think you can hear the cartoon music coming through the door behind me. Hopefully it's not too loud. We're going to push down through the right foot so that you can lift your left leg and put it onto that right knee. Hopefully you can just about get there. But that might be a big stretch in your hip already. If it isn't too much, you can sit tall as well and give the inside of that left knee a little push with your left elbow or your left hand. And again, this is the outside of the hip where you should feel the stretch. And then hold that stretch for a moment. And then slide your leg over. Put the right hand on the outside of the left thigh and lift nice and tall. And you're going to turn to look over your left shoulder. And we'll take a few breaths there, trying to breathe into the rib cage while you get even taller and you spiral around. Gently pressing through your right arm to give you a little bit more room, a bit more help. And then you can unravel, and let's finish with a roll down as we normally do. Hands on your knees, you're going to tuck your chin, and you're going to peel all the way down, sliding your hands down the fronts of your shins. So your head will be going down between your knees. Let your head hang, let it go. And then you can draw your tummy in and try and send the lower back backwards, then the middle back, then the upper back, so you stack your spine up nice and tall. Good. And you're all done for today. Oh, 23 minutes. That's longer than I meant to be. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can get to the end. And I will see you soon.